Well, this week marks 5 years of Ag PhD radio. So we hope you've enjoyed the last 20 years of Ag PhD TV, but today we wanted to talk just a little bit about the Ag PhD radio show, which has now been on SiriusXM channel 147 for 5 years.
SiriusXM has just been fantastic. We first heard that we were going to have a show. We've been talking to the RFD TV folks and Patrick Gotch about what if we get a radio channel someday, and wouldn't that be cool if we could be right in the tractor with farmers as they're out in the field, or right in the barn with farmers.
Yeah, because the big thing is we've been doing radio for years and basically pre-recording things, but what we really like is interacting with farmers, taking live phone calls and finding out, hey, what's going on today? Not just what could happen or what might happen, but what's actually happening right now in the fields. So with the Ag PhD radio show, we finally had a format that we were able to do that. And the interesting thing going back to this is when we were talking about the radio show, you know, we'd actually talked about it for years. And so one day we get the call from Patrick saying, hey, we're going to have the rural radio channel. Are you guys ready to go with your show we've talked about for a long time? And he said, you bet. What are you thinking? Like a half an hour, kind of like the TV show? And he said, well, no, we're thinking an hour show. And I said, well, I suppose we could probably do that. 1 hour show once a week, no problem. And he goes, no, we're talking 1 hour show every weekday. And so then both Darren and I said, we need to talk about that a little bit. And we did. And as Darren and I analyzed our schedules, we said, boy, we're taking so many phone calls and emails and just talking to agronomists and farmers around the country today. That really should be the show. So that's what we do each weekday on SiriusXM radio with the Ag PhD radio show.
One of the cool things about doing a show each weekday is you get to hear from farmers all around the country and hear what's going on.
And Canada as well.
Yeah, and hear where there's some wet areas, where guys are suffering through some drought. But not only that, but just hear what's happening. Hey, we're at this stage in our corn and we're starting to do this. Or we're at this stage with cotton and here's the management practice that we're doing. And we get to learn about lots of different crops that we may not be raising right here on our farm.
And talk about agronomic recommendations, because what we're all about, whether it's the TV show or the radio show, is trying to do a better job agronomy-wise with things we can control on the farm so we can produce more yield, make more money, and do a better job with the soil and the environment. Well, once again, we are celebrating 5 years of Ag PhD radio. We hope you can tune in to the Ag PhD radio show each weekday at 2 p.m. Central on SiriusXM channel 147.
Well, one thing that we will definitely be talking about on any Ag PhD radio show or TV show is the Weed of the Week. Can you identify this week's weed?